Welcome back, everyone, to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Konrad here.
Hilton.
George.
Arthur.
And we're back.
We are back. We are back again. We have Konrad in the room hosting us again.
back.
We miss our host. When I have to host and I got nothing to do, and then it's like I just go like, "Hello, everybody, George."
I stood up.
Yeah.
You rose to the occasion of the pressure. That's good, right there.
Just like Cape Verde.
Cape Verde.
When Konrad's not here, I'm gonna have George sitting over there and hosting us.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. But yeah, back from Brazil. Had an amazing trip. For any of the listeners out there, we've already talked about it, 2 other podcasts.
A series of podcasts based on your trip.
Yeah, I could keep going on if there's any other questions. I know George has a plethora. Okay, let's go.
One. Okay, so I'm gonna split. I'm not going to. I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask 3 questions in one
only
question.
one question.
Right. So, buddy, I want to know.
panel.
I want to know 2 things.
Sure.
Logistics, and how safe you felt. Safe in general.
Oh, that's 2.
I thought it was going to be one question.
I tried, man. I tried. It's
What's
stronger
going
than me.
on?
I have some. I tried to. I actually try to hell. Say no. Just say it, George. Just say it.
So logistics-wise, when you talk about logistics, are you talking about
The whole thing again.
How to
Describing
move
on
around.
logistics, just
Moving
like the
around.
whole thing. Like from your house, safety's big part of that.
Right.
At least I am obsessed about safety when I go to Brazil. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, like the whole thing, like moving the family from one part to the other, getting to restaurants, parking, all these things that can be
Easy.
complex.
I will tell you, so here's the thing. Camila had everything is done by Pix,
Payments,
It's like a Venmo. So
Yes.
if you guys don't
Zelle.
know,
I think it's more like Zelle.
It's a cash app.
Venmo.
you know?
Zelle,
Yeah, it's a cash app.
Zelle, yeah.
But it's so funny because my daughter was like, "Mom, your favorite thing to say to anyone is like, você tem Pix?"
Yeah.
Because Camila everywhere is like, "Tu tem Pix?
Man,
Tu
this
tem
is-
Pix?"
This is
Tudo
the
é
best
Pix.
show don't tell that I can say. Like I can see people getting that. And then your kid. Well,
Yes.
but your kid is way out of the car. The curve.
She's so observant of everything. But so logistics-wise, it was actually way easier than I was expecting. Camila she has Nubank, and of course that has Pix, and everything was just grab an Uber. So I will say the complicated things of the logistics was sometimes we would have my mother-in-law, my sogra, with us, and a lot of the Ubers wouldn't accept five people because of insurance-wise. If there was an accident, the Uber driver would be held accountable. They would lose their job. There was one instance where we were actually at that same shopping center in Ipanema, and it was like midnight. They closed the mall. We were outside. Camila's phone dies for her to call an Uber. Karen, who was staying there, her phone dies. So we're trying to figure out how can we call an Uber and stuff like that. We finally get into the apartment building. It's freezing cold at night. Camila charges her phone, orders an Uber. The past 2 other Ubers that we had called before when we had left canceled because they were like, you have too many people. We can't take it. The guy shows up finally at like 12:30 and goes, I'm not going to take that many people. So I said, Camila, you go with the kids and your mom. Go order me another Uber, and I'll just take that. So I'm standing outside. The problem is when you order one Uber, you can't order another.
Yeah.
So
Gotta have to wait.
So Camila made a phone call to her cousin, was like, can you order Konrad an Uber, and then we'll go. So logistics-wise, there were some complications as far as like movements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, nobody has big cars in Brazil. It's all small cars like Fiat, a Logan.
But couldn't you order a black Uber?
Yeah. And a black Uber Black is like, okay, a nicer.
No, hold on.
It's
An Uber Black in Brazil is the color of the car. And
an Uber Black in Brazil is an Uber X in America.
Yes.
Literally, like I took one day, like I had a Ford Expedition, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like for me, that's an Uber Black. I texted like another American. She was like, oh, that's a normal Uber for me. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, like that's an amazing car for an Uber.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to the Logans, and that was like a very small car that you
Yes.
cannot even fit 4 people plus a driver.
Yes. So, and a lot of the Uber Blacks were exactly like you were saying, Arthur. It's like smaller, compact cars.
It's for people that don't know, it's like basically a Corolla, a Toyota
Yes.
Corolla.
Yes.
Look, this is what the medias would do. Should have $10. Should have $10 in her pocket. Should say, hey, $10 here. Brazilians don't resist to a dollar.
Need to be 50, man.
Brazilians don't. In Brazil,
10
but I'm-
10 reais or $10? Oh, $10. Oh, okay.
But
I thought you were saying 10
because
reais.
I wouldn't risk to stand anywhere in Brazil
So-
for more than half an hour.
So this
More than
ties
5
into
minutes.
this ties into safety. There was never a time where I felt unsafe in any
All right.
part of Brazil. So there were some parts where it was starting to get dark and some characters were starting to come out that I'm like, all right, let's, don't speak English. Like, let's just focus on Portuguese and stuff like that. But I mean, there were times, what's that one park that I told you we were at by in Zona Sul where Ronaldinho Gaúcho lives, by the river? It's the famous...
Gasômetro?
No, Mais Pro Sul, the gasometer.
Pontal?
No, that's not a park.
I don't know.
It's a new park, but I don't think it was that.
Anyway.
Probably like some of the beaches in Ipanema.
Yeah, but further south of yes. But anyways, we were out until like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Never felt unsafe. Just called an Uber, got into the Uber, drove around. Like, safety was one of the things that I felt that was a different level. I feel more unsafe here in the United States than I did in Brazil.
But that's an effect. I feel the same when I go to Rio. Well, where I stay, the way I go, I don't feel unsafe in Rio.
Right.
But just bubbles. Like if you're
In
in the bubbles, you're safe.
But the thing is, like, I traveled a lot of different places within Porto Alegre. I was in Zona Sul, and then I kind of went into, Petropolis, and then I went to Zona Norte. I was all over Porto Alegre. Like, I really explored, I went to Centro. I was all over. I never felt unsafe. We even went to, there's a igreja in downtown. It was like the...
Nossa Senhora de
Principal-
Aparecida?
Huh?
Nossa Senhora de Aparecida? No, I know. The
Cathedral.
cathedral. The cathedral.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at
The
night...
City Hall is there. The
Yes.
theater is here.
where the mayor lives
Yeah,
is
yeah,
right
yeah.
next to it. So
Yeah.
at night they actually close down, or they open up part of the church and have a restaurant. They have music and
Yeah.
So we went there.
Yeah.
But we were walking in
Downtown.
downtown. We were walking in downtown. Never felt unsafe. Never had any sketchiness where we're like, okay, like
That.
let's go to this other side of the street to avoid these type of people or anything like that. Like everywhere we went, we felt safe.
That is like a interesting point, because like if I'm walking downtown midnight, I'll be like scared as shit. I'll be
Really?
really scared because I know downtown is super unsafe.
And
George can contribute on that.
so,
but it's
and
really
maybe it's the
unsafe.
time of the year where it's winter time. Maybe, crime isn't as high. There's not as many people out. I don't know.
I think like the biggest difference, and George can talk about it, and Hilton too, because he's been to Brazil many times too. He's Brazilian, of course. But I feel that the biggest difference that like you're from America, so you're used to safety, and I'm used to being like scared all the time. You know, so I'm used to like seeing the dark and being like, okay, at some point some sketchy person's gonna
Right.
When
appear out of nowhere.
When
you
you
know?
hear things and you see things, you can't unsee. You can't unsee
Right.
it. You can't unhear it. So that's what the point is. So I've seen so many stories, especially in the 80s and the 90s, right?
Yes.
So I can see that. I went there in 2023, and I felt the city was different.
So, but here's the thing: is when I first went to Brazil, Camilo would always be like, "It's Porto Alegre is very unsafe, very unsafe. Don't speak English in front." And there were times where it was like, I mean, I saw police chasing after people and stuff like that, and I was like, Porto Alegre is kind of dangerous. The first time that I went, this time, completely opposite feeling.
maybe it's because like I also had a couple of friends. I have one friend that has been like robbed, pickpocketed basically.
Yeah.
2 times at the same place, and it's basically like one of the most high-ending neighborhoods in Porto Alegre.
Yeah.
So that's
What was
maybe,
it?
Moinhos de Ventos.
Moinhos.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why maybe I feel unsafe because it's like super close. Maybe like 10 minutes walking from the place I live.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I feel unsafe because I've heard so many stories, but I've never been robbed in my life. Like
Right.
besides one time when I was like really young, so I can't even remember. But so maybe it's just like
Would they take
different
your
perspective.
pacifier or something like that?
No. It is a crazy story. They just robbed like my grandparents' place. So it was my
Oh.
grandpa's birthday, and they said they had like a flower delivery. And then my grandpa was like, "Oh, nice!" And then the guy just pointed a gun to him, and he was
Oh,
like,
that's
"Okay."
shitty.
So, and then we were like stuck in the bathroom for a while, me and my mom and my grandma, while my grandpa was trying to open the safe. He had like a safe that had literally nothing inside.
Yeah.
And he couldn't open it because he was scared. So, it is a crazy story.
Yeah, that's shitty. But I know one of the Uber drivers was saying that the politicians will say that they changed some things like political wise, and they've really cleaned up the streets. This Uber driver was saying that that a lot of the drug dealers are making a lot of money selling drugs internationally right now, and so the organized crime or the crime rates have really diminished because they're making good money selling drugs elsewhere. So that was his theory, is that, you know, once drug dealers are making money elsewhere, you don't really have to do a lot of crime like pickpocketing or anything like that. You don't have to steal from other people to make a living. That was his theory. So I don't know. And again, maybe it's the time of the year where it's a little bit colder at night. They don't want. They're like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to go outside and pickpocket somebody." You know, I'm going to stay inside and warm. You know, keep warm. I don't know.
Just to clarify for the Americans, like we're in winter in Brazil, so that's why it's colder.
Very good point. Yes, it is winter time, and Rio Grande do Sul, Porto Alegre, it's cold. So it's not like the rest of Brazil where it's still hot year round. It's cold. It snowed in Gramado. You know, there was ice and stuff, so it gets cold. So safety wise, George, I never felt unsafe, which was a relief.
We're gonna share this with Porto Alegre City Hall. Let's see if they follow us. You know, like, because this could be amazing. It is an invitation for the city. Definitely, we can contact the
For an
Porto Alegre's
American
tourism.
for an
department
American,
and say that.
No, I went downtown. I went to Gasometro. I went to Pontal. I explored Porto Alegre day and night.
Did you go to Redenção, Parque Farroupilha?
I went to Henderson.
All right.
Dude, Henderson was amazing.
It is.
I love how
in
there's
the
so
heart
many
of the city.
so many people.
Bonfim, Bairro Bonfim.
Bonfim, everywhere. So awesome. It was really, really, just really fun.
So I have one question for you, actually.
Sure.
Did you see the difference between like the amount of plants and trees we have in Brazil compared to Texas or America?
Well, I mean, a lot of parts seemed like it was still like rainforest in Brazil.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Brazil, is like it's so green everywhere, you know. Yes, I noticed.
Hold on, Gramado has huge, it has
Green
all
belts.
types.
Green belts around.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Gramado is completely different. I mean, that's like Northern California, pine trees and stuff like that. But yeah, the diversity of plant life and animals. The what was that bird? The pega? No. Quero.
Quero.
Those things chase after us. I was like, what the hell are these
You should
birds?
be scared of them, man.
Dude, those things are crazy. And apparently it's only a bird that's in Rio Grande do Sul, but they say like quero is like their like call, and they lay their eggs on the ground, and they're super protective, and if you're close to their nest, they chase after you to like get you away, and they have these long beaks out, like they'll jab at you.
They're dangerous. They're really dangerous.
Yeah. They like chase after my kid, and like
They're dinosaurs.
They're little dinosaurs. They're about this big.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's the same thing. Like, for example, if you go to Curitiba, also it has a lot of the vegetation. It's kind of interesting too. different colors, different everything. When it gets to that thing, and then you can get like tiny little monkeys that come and they knock at your window so that you give them food or whatever.
Yeah.
You find that in Curitiba quite often, and it's it's not because you're in the jungle, because you're not. It's south of Brazil. It's the Atlantic forest. It's not the Amazon forest.
Right.
So it's a completely different. What's the word I'm looking for, George? Is the
Ecosystem.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
To wrap up here, I wanted to know your level of satisfaction and the experiences you have this time that was different from the previous experience. Those two things, just so we can wrap up.
And that's a good point. I will say the past experiences of being there. The first time that I went to Porto Alegre, I'd never felt that it was super safe, and Camila was pregnant, so I didn't get to explore too much. Like, she would go do something, and then she'd be like, I'm tired. I can't go drink. I can't go to parties. I can't do this, and this, right? So I never really got to explore Porto Alegre, even though I was there for like a month and a half, almost 2 months. And then the other times we would always go there, stay at my Sagra's house, and then we'd go to Rio for like a week and a half and then come back and then go home. Or we would go to Santa Catarina and then come back and go home. This time I actually got to really explore Porto Alegre. I will say, on a scale of like 1 to 10, I'd put this at like a 9.5.
This is amazing, actually.
When you go somewhere on like a vacation and you're like, I can't wait to get home. I had that feeling one time towards the very end where I was like, you know what? I think I'm about ready to go back home. Like, I told the kids, like, I miss tacos. I miss Mexican food. I miss my truck. I miss my house. I miss my bed, stuff like that. But
I miss the big things.
Yeah, I miss the big thing. I miss taking a shit in a big bathroom and stuff like that. But honestly, it was like such a little overwhelming, like not even overwhelming feeling of like I need to go back. It was just kind of like, I miss those things, but I'm having so much fun. I was always constantly doing something, having fun, just enjoying the city, enjoying the company, enjoying just like walking past people and saying bon dia. And they respond back with a smile and like a genuine happiness.
And highest point of the trip?
The highest point of the trip, man, that was almost every day. I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
it's okay.
I forgot to mention this. I went karting at PK's, like,
Yeah,
that was
nice.
on top of the
Yeah.
Shopee. What's the name?
Iguatemi?
Yeah, Iguatemi.
Yeah.
At the very top of it, they closed down the whole like parking lot
Yeah.
area, and you get to ride karts throughout like a course that they have,
Yeah.
and they have like a PK exhibit and stuff like that. One of the guys spoke. He was like still in high school, but he spoke perfect English, and he was like, "Oh, I really want to go to America." And I'm like, "Dude, with your English, you can make it far, man. Like, you're really good." He's like, "Oh, I appreciate that, but." That was fun. Even just going to like the shopping malls and just kind of exploring and seeing people. And
You visited William and Sons, haven't you? Did you go to William and Sons, the coffee
I didn't.
place? You didn't.
I passed so many times. I passed the one in Gramado and they had just closed. The one in Petropolis, I saw it and I go, "Oh, George keeps talking about this. I have to go there." The next day was Sunday. They're closed.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a... And then we had to go. So I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But I discovered in Petropolis, and I sent it to you, there was a little coffee shop that they import their coffee beans from Minas, and then they cook it upstairs, and prepare it, and then they make it
roast it
upstairs.
It's a roastery together.
And it's just a small little shop.
They brew it there.
And then they brew it downstairs. And you talk about one of the most amazing cups of coffee I've ever had in my life.
Espresso?
No, I had a it wasn't Americano. I had a Cortado.
Mm-hmm.
Camila had the Americano. Mm-hmm. And the level of energy that provided from I wasn't jittery. I never felt super overwhelmed. I never felt just smooth coffee flavor to a point where I'm like, this is the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Cool.
It was out of this world. So, to wrap up, 9.5 out of my trip. I would highly recommend to anyone, wanting to travel international. One thing I will say, from Austin, I went from here to Miami. As soon as I landed in the airport, you just got onto the next plane. Miami to Rio to Porto Alegre.
Right.
No layovers, no problems with security or anything like that. Coming back, Porto Alegre to Panama, 7 hours. As soon as we arrived in Panama, get off and go to our next terminal. Panama to Austin, 4 hours. Total trip, including going to the airport in Porto Alegre and leaving the airport here in Austin, getting to our house, 13 hours.
Yeah.
13 hours.
Door to door.
Door to door. Absolutely amazing. I slept on the plane ride from Porto Alegre to Panama. I woke up, feel refreshed, smooth, and I'm just like, this is how traveling should be.
Yeah, you had no hiccups. That's interesting.
So
The very first time, although you got sick, and
Yes.
then you couldn't come podcasting.
yes. Well, I also got
that's the
sick in
subject
Vermont.
for another
He got sick in
podcast.
Panama.
Exactly.
He
Yeah.
was saving himself for the Brazil's game.
That's
Come
what
on.
we're gonna
We
do
all
in
know
our
that.
next,
Yeah.
in our next episode, right,
Yeah.
guys?
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, and visit us on Spotify.